Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm sharing a couple of card projects featuring multi-step stamping. Now this is something that I tend to shy away from, but when I got my hands on this stamp set from My Favorite Things Stamps, I thought this is a multi-step that I can get behind and actually have some success. So let's take a look and jump into the project. The stamp set is called Brilliant Butterflies, and the thing that is so cool about it is on the acetate itself, there's a little black outline that shows you which ones go together, so that makes that part easier. But it also comes with a color guide on the back to give you some suggestions for how to choose your inks and how everything goes together. Now I think there is a die set for this, but I do not have the dies. I'm just going with ink. So I'll be using Simon Black and then these beautiful colors, which I will have listed below, along with all of the other supplies that I'm using today. So again, that black line says these things go together. I just think that's really helpful if you're starting to lay a bunch of these butterflies down, right? And you kind of forget what's what and what's where. Not with this. So let's get started with a very simple card. I'm going to show you a more simple card first, and then we're going to move on to one that's a little more complicated. Now I'm using these stamps for the first time ever, and here's the thing when you get new stamps. They have sort of this coating on them from the manufacture process, and so when you stamp down and if it's a little blotchy, this is perfectly normal, if that makes sense. It's going to be like this until your stamps get a little more conditioned. And after I had hit it twice using my Misty tool, I decided I was just going to clean off the stamp, give it a good wipe down with my tidy towel, and then hit it for a third time for a fantastic impression. This is why I love my stamp positioner, because it eliminates the mess up factor. If you need to stamp something again, as long as your paper is positioned right where it needs to be, you're going to get an impression directly on top of what you already stamped. So going in with the darker pink. Now here's the thing, see that little gap? It's not really intended to have a gap, but I thought that looked really cool. Now, if you're using the coordinating dies, you would want to line it up exactly as you see it on the guide, but I thought this looked really cool with the gap. Again, hitting that a second time, and now putting the black wing detail layer over the top. Now I'm just using Simon Says Stamp Intense Black. It's a great dark black ink. I'm going to hit this once, and I use a Swiffer cloth not only to clean up my workspace, but it just helps my hand to slide over the Misty door. I don't know if you like your fingers sticking. I don't. But there you go. Fantastic wings, and then adding the butterfly's body and his little antenna. So that is the basic idea of how this stamp set works. Isn't that pretty? I feel like it looks fancier than it is. Does that make sense? Like, I just did that, and I think it's pretty cool. So I'm die cutting this little Bravo script word, and as I was creating this project, when I was going to make the supply list, it doesn't exist anymore. So I apologize for that. Any little die cut word will work. You can glue them together. That's what I'm doing. I like to spray it off camera, right? And then just stack them up and adhere them. But a stamped sentiment would look great with this project as well. I'm going to score my card base. This is Simon Black cardstock. Give it a press, fold it down, and I like to tape my card bases closed just because I like them to be flat so that when I'm adding my panels and other elements, the card does not pop up. All right, moving on. I'm going to put some really sticky tape runner on the back of the card panel and then just pop some fun foam. I'm getting a little low on my tape that I normally use, so I thought I'm just going to go the fun foam route. It's very affordable, and I can pop that up onto the card base with some liquid adhesive. I had to bring in some black cardstock because I could not see the edges of my card. Yeah. I'm going to use a pre-printed sentiment from Simon Says Stamp for my sub-sentiment on my card. And the cool thing is I have these sentiment labels that I cut almost all of my sub-sentiments out with. Works great with these pre-printed sentiments. Now the thing is about them though, they are printed on white cardstock. So if you want to have that black core look, just take a black pen. I like to use a Copic marker. This is T10, I believe, is the color. And I just color over the edges to create that black core cardstock look. I'm using a little liquid adhesive on the back of my stacked die cut. I'm just going to pop it right below the butterfly. Press that down, make sure it's lined up. And that's why I like the liquid, because I realized I needed to kind of just slide it over a tiny little bit. And then I'm popping up the sub-sentiment that I've trimmed down right in the center. So happy for you. And that is the base of the card. A few sequins finish this project out. And I thought that was cute how it kind of curves and comes in to the right and then finishes off almost like a little butterfly trail at the bottom. Really simple, but again, that's multi-step stamping that is just kind of hard to mess up. So let's make one that's a little more complicated. So I've got a card base here that I've cut and scored, but not folded, because I want to have some of my butterfly images, well actually all of them, extend off the edge of the card. And I want this to be just a single layer card. So got that tape in place to mask off where it's going to fold. And again, a little splotchy, so I'm going to hit that a second time to get a great impression. And then I will proceed with the stamping. I've got the darker pink on top, the lighter pink on the bottom, and on this one, I actually lined that up pretty perfectly. And stamping the wings down as well. And then I added the body and antenna and moved on. So I put in the little Bravo just so that I kind of had an idea of where a sentiment would go. Now I stamped down with my orange, and when I stamped the lighter orange, I actually misaligned it. You see that? It's not completely lined up, but once I put the black over it and the body, you don't even notice. That's what's kind of cool about a set like this. All right, and then I added my third and final butterfly at the bottom in the yellows, and you can see we're working down in rainbow order, right? And once I take that mask off, oh, so cute. I love how the butterflies break out of the boundary. So for my sentiment, I decided to die cut and stack a few woots. Do you say that at your house? We say that at my house. So it's a woot and a congratulations, which I'm popping up. And that foam that I'm using is just a little bit taller or deeper than the woot, so it floats above that little T-swoop. It's all lined up, and to finish off this card, again, some more silver sequins. I love silver sequins because I feel like they're such a perfect neutral shine. They don't overtake the project, but they add just a nice little cascade of shiny bling down the front of the card. And that's the finished design. I really love that explosion out of the contained space, you know, when things go off the edge, when they bleed off the edge. I think it's a very cool look. But this is three-step stamping that I think anyone can do. It's so easy, and this butterfly set has so many fantastic possibilities. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.